Thank you. Whenever a believer takes time to look back at the goodness of the Lord, it is a time to celebrate. It's a time to celebrate the goodness of the Lord. Our heritage, my beloved, is the sum total of our experience. Yes, it is our present reflected in the mirror of what we were. If we pause for just a moment on the roadside of life and reflect on the goodness of the Lord, we would instantly see the rich heritage of faith and blessings that have followed us along the way. Celebration is biblical. Whenever believers look back upon what God did for them, they celebrate. When Abraham secured a wife for his son Isaac, there was a celebration. When Moses announced that after 400 years that Israel would finally leave Egypt, there was a celebration. When Joshua led Israel into the promised land, which flowed with the opportunity like milk and honey, there was a celebration. When David finally secured the return of the Ark of the Covenant to Israel, he was so happy that he celebrated by dancing in the street. When the prodigal son returned home, his father killed the fatted calf and ordered a celebration. At family reunions, we celebrate our family heritage with a festive atmosphere, which includes plenty of food, reflection, and praise to God for being a wonderful, benevolent, and protective toward us. And as Christians, we also celebrate our personal salvation. We give thanks to God for Calvary, for it is through Calvary that the blood of Christ gave us a reason for celebration. Now, do I have a witness in here today? Come on, help me preach this word. Well, this text this evening focuses on David as he gives golden advice about finding the path to everlasting life, which is rooted in goodly heritage. Now, this psalm has the title, A Mikam of David. 5 other psalms have a familiar title or similar title. And there's no conclusive evidence as to what exactly is meant by Mikam. Many think it refers to its literal meaning, that it refers to written in gold letters, indicating that this is truly a golden psalm. Yes, now one of the golden nuggets in this psalm is verse 6. It says, I have a goodly heritage. And the other one is verse 11. Thou wilt show me the path of life. I feel pretty good right now. Yes, this is the path that man has blindly groped for ever since he's been on earth. Yes, it is a right of way into the presence of God. The singer of this psalm tells of one who has found his way through, presumably a messianic reference to Jesus Christ. This is the path of our heritage. This path is described as a goodly heritage. The path of life begins with our inheritance in him. And David notes that those who would enjoy life to its fullest participate in the divine heritage. Now, the way of life is within the boundaries or lines he has set for us. And God blessed David. Yes, just as he does every believer. That blessing results in what he calls a goodly heritage, which is worthy of its thanks, worthy of its celebration, worthy of his joy. Well, now that I've got your attention, let's talk about reasons to celebrate. Yeah, everybody know how to party. Now, despite difficult times in which we have seen wars and rumors of wars, there is still reason to celebrate. Even though in recent times we have seen nations rise against nations and experience the bitter sting of terrorism, there is still a reason for celebration. First of all, we need to celebrate our escape from death. Yes, the church has helped believers withstand the troubles of our time. Our heritage is one that is filled with struggle and difficulty. Whether it has been our ethnic struggle, or as a people or color or an individual striving to overcome our personal fight with life-threatening situations, we have reason to celebrate because God has helped us to survive our difficulty and even to escape death itself. Is there a witness in the house? The psalmist writes, "Thou maintainest my lot." Yes, now when our world is turned upside down, and tragic and down by tragic events, it is easy to become cynical and disillusioned with life. In other words, I never could have made it without him. Yes, yet we are able to celebrate when others are not, because we know God will never forsake us. I've seen the lightning flash. Well, because we know he will never leave us alone, we should celebrate. Now, because he has been with us as we walk through the valley of shadow and death, we should celebrate. Well, the second thing we should celebrate is the help he has given. When we consider our heritage, we can't help but thank God for the help the Lord has given us. Every believer has experienced a time or two when we have been caught between a rock and a hard place. Those were times when we faced trouble on every side. And during such times, we found that we could really do what really do was to say, like David, I will lift up mine eyes. How many want to lift their eyes up this morning? I lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help, yeah, my help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. We discovered in our life journey that only the power of God could help us, because we were powerless to help ourselves. Only our hope was for someone bigger than ourselves to help us. So the writer of the psalm says, then I called on the name of the Lord. Oh Lord, anybody ever called the Lord? In times of trouble, in times of sickness, sometimes I got to fold my arms. I can't even say a mumbling word, but I cry, oh Lord, have mercy